Dans Challengers, Zendaya, Josh O'Connor et Mike Feist sont au cœur d'un triangle amoureux. Mais c'est aussi et surtout un film sur le tennis. Il nous raconte l'intensité du tournage et comment ils se sont entraînés pour devenir des joueurs pros.
There was a good documentary that I can't remember the name of that was on Netflix right before.
It's like the Formula One.
No, that one came out after. This was about yeah, that would have been great. There was a documentary about like a top 10 player who was battling his own mental health, actually. And that was actually a really interesting thing to watch, just in terms of hearing him speak about the challenges of being in this isolating sport and constantly fighting your own brain.
This match could change my life. And then all of a sudden, I think I'm dying.
Did you watch that before?
No, it wasn't before. It was when I got the job.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It wasn't even like tennis. It was an entirely different game.
But then I think we all read Andre Agassi's memoir, Open, which kind of delves into the same thing about this mentality of, like, you know, constantly battling your own demons at all times.
I watched Wimbledon most years.
So you truly understand
But I didn't really
rules?
understand what was
Be
happening.
for real, yeah. And just if everybody else clap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great,
yeah,
guys.
it was good. Brad Gilbert was our tennis coach. He worked with Andre Agassi and I think was an inspiration massively to, I think, Justin and his creation of this film and the idea of playing challengers and, again, the psychology of these tennis players is awesome. He has such a deep love for the game. Like, I've never seen someone so passionate about it. At one point, I think I felt bad because I think he was split between three of us. So we also had Eric come on board to help me as well. We needed more hands on deck.
Specifically, we
needed more hands on deck. It's very, very special to kind of be introduced to the game of tennis and the love for the sport.
I think I was like obsessed with how can I get reasonably good at tennis. And actually, I remember there was a day where Z came in and I was feeling really anxious. I'd spoken to Mike one night and I was like, God, what am I going to do? Like, I am terrible at tennis and I'm playing a very good tennis player.
To have a fashion line, a foundation, it's going to turn a whole family into millionaires.
And I remember that we came in one day and you were like, hey, we need to focus on like the politics and the physicality of a tennis match. Like, what it feel like. We're actors, we're not tennis players. And what does it feel like to be alone on one side of the court? Or what does it feel like to be sat on the side of a court? And like, how do they eat? And all those mannerisms. And as soon as I like unlocked that and was able to look at it as like, it's a bigger character study than just the like
actual
being good at tennis. Yeah. It really helped, I think.
Actually, those sequences ended up being more choreographed than anything, really.
And everything was storyboarded. I mean, there were so many very specific storyboards for the entire sequence, and I feel like we were there for like weeks.
We would shoot different tennis sequences at different times. I mean,
the big Challenger Tire Town one we did in one block of 2 weeks or something like that. Same.
We were supposed to do it in a week. Remember that?
Yeah, but
no
there was
way.
a storm.
And then there was
and then just shooting.
And then it was just we're like, this is actually gonna take a lot more. Do you remember like we were doing all the intense like older stuff first?
I love you.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I was just itching to get back to like when they're younger and it's not so heavy and it's not so daunting. So like for the beginning it was like our marriage is falling apart. You know, it's like, you know, it's all this heavy, you know, and then we finally got to get to the like early 2000s kind of the more funny scenes, you know what I mean? And that's when like you could get back to the lighter scenes of the characters. But I think even in those moments, you kind of have to find a way to separate and find moments of like levity and joy and all these kinds of things, especially when these characters are going through like, for them, like the worst parts of their life, you know, and doing things that they're not proud of. But then, you know, like again, I'm bringing snacks. And I'm like, so these gummy bears or these gummy bears, you know? But yeah, it's a balance.